Hello everybody, Rusted Ground here. Welcome back to another video. This time we're checking out Rogue Waters. Developed by Ice Code Games, this tactical turn-based roguelike came out on the 30th of September this year. Ice Code Games have previously developed Hard West 2, a game that I have reviewed on this channel back in 2022. In Rogue Waters, you are in control of Captain Cutter, who at the start of the game is the first mate on a pirate ship led by Captain Blackbone. In the first minutes of the story, Blackbone is after a magic jewel, and when he finds it, he betrays Cutter in the hopes of stealing said artifact. The betrayal only partially works, as although Cutter technically dies, the jewel Blackbone was after gets lodged into Cutter's eye and goes to the bottom of the ocean alongside its new wearer. 14 years after this event, Cutter is fished out from the ocean and finds himself in the company of some of his old crew. This is how you find out that Captain Cutter is in fact immortal. On top of that, the jewel lodged into his eye speaks to him and grants him the power to summon sea creatures that can help in battle. But the world has also changed in the 14 years that have passed. Blackbone became a world-renowned and very powerful pirate with a lot of connections, and a new material has appeared in the world called glass that is more valuable than gold. Captain Cutter's new objective is to avenge his death, as well as to find out what this gem in his eye is, and also who is this voice inside his head. And that's about it when it comes to the story. The progression in Rogue Waters is done via a raid mechanic, where you get to choose if you want to go on a story raid or a resource gathering raid. When you go on these raids, you get this map on the right side of the screen with various nodes, and each node represents an encounter, be it a fight, a place to trade, or a random location with an event. Combat in Rogue Waters has two stages: the ship battle stage and the actual tactical RPG battle stage, where you get to board the enemy ship and take out its remaining crew. Your ship, as well as the enemy ships, are equipped with cannons and modules. The modules give various bonuses to the crew, and the cannons, well, they just fire at the enemy. In the first phase of combat, you get to attack the other ship and ideally cripple the crew as much as you can before the boarding phase. Once you have boarded the enemy vessel, you will have to take out the remaining crew, and this is where the troop diversity comes into play. There are two types of troops in Rogue Waters: the mates and the specialists. The mates are your most basic unit, whereas the specialists are your classes. There are several specialists in the game, like the Spear Maiden, the Grappler, the Cook, and so on, each with their own talents and abilities. To make things even more interesting, each specialist has 3 talent trees, one for their specific class, and the other 2 are random talent trees which make each specialist unique in its own way. Take for example these 2 Spear Maidens in my crew, Aisha and Shishke. Aisha has her Spear Maiden talent tree, but also a heavy arm set of talents, as well as a fencer set of talents. Shishke, on the other hand, has the Spear Maiden talent tree, and then the other 2 are Nimble and Hunter talents, making her quite different to Aisha in combat. I have to say, I really like this diversity when it comes to your crew, as you can have multiple crew members with the same base class, but with different abilities. So far, my favorite class has been the Grappler, as they can push enemies around and set them up for more damage from the other crew members. While out and about on your sea adventures, you will gather 2 types of materials that you will use to upgrade your ship and crew. These materials are glass and blueprints. With glass, you will be able to upgrade various abilities for your sea creature summoning power, as well as bonuses for your crew, such as faster healing or the ability to take more specialists on raids. Blueprints, on the other hand, will help you upgrade your ship by unlocking various modules, as well as increasing the cannons and starting module capacity. In your base of operations, you will also have a tavern where you can recruit specialists after every raid. You always get the option of 3 specialists to recruit, and if you have enough glass, you can recruit all 3 after every raid. Although, from what I've played so far, there is no need to recruit all 3 in one go, since you will fill up on your specialist slot quite fast if you do that. I also want to mention that there is a good variety when it comes to the enemies, which can make some encounters quite tricky. The combination of ship combat and tactical combat is actually very fun, and I found myself enjoying the ship combat quite a lot, as you can decimate the other ship and end the combat before the second phase. At the time of this recording, I've played about 10 hours of the game, and judging by the amount of abilities that I've unlocked, I don't think that there is much more to go from a story perspective. But this is another thing that I like about this game. You don't need to do just the story raids, you can easily go on one of the other 2 types of raids and collect materials and get quite a lot of action from there. Overall, I've really enjoyed my time in Rogue Waters so far. It's a game that, although seems pretty bare bones in the story department, I feel it provides a lot of fun and diversity in the combat aspect. The raids can be quite short and snappy, and the roguelite aspect of the combat is something that I really enjoy. At the time of recording this video, the game is €29 on Steam, or $29 depending on where you are in the world. Thank you very much for sticking around until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.